I think this is a really important question. And so the first thing I would say is I think at first, when you're starting your business, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to get some customers and service them really well and make them really happy. Even if you're going after small businesses, that you can go sell them yourself and make sure they're super happy and they're super excited about the product. Now, that's not obviously going to be cost effective in the long term, but I think what you want to do first is just figure out what customer base is really interested in the product that you have and is really responding well to it. I think once you have a sense of which customer base you want to go after, let's say it's an enterprise business and you're trying to go after big customers, or it could be small customers. But I think the strategies then, once you decide which segment you want to focus on, whether it's enterprise, big customers, or more SMEs, then I think the strategy is very different. So for example, big enterprise customers, they're probably not going to sign up for products just online. They're not going to put in a credit card. They want a salesperson to show up. They want training. They want support, all those things. So you really have to think about then, am I building out the right customer acquisition model to go and service those? And am I charging enough? So for example, if you're saying, well, I'm going to hire a salesperson, and let's say you're targeting a market like the US market, and you say, I'm going to hire a salesperson. That salesperson, a good, senior, solid enterprise salesperson for the US is going to cost you $100,000, $150,000 a year. And if you're saying I'm going to charge that customer $5,000 a month, and it takes 8 months to close that customer, you may not be actually charging enough to make it a really viable economic model. So you got to really make sure that, am I charging enough for these big customers to deal with the long sales cycle and to deal with the cost of putting a sales force in the field and supporting them to travel, to train them. They have to wine and dine customers, etc. Now if you're sort of saying, hey, I'm going to do it more online and I'm going to do everything via online marketing, and I'm going to use display and mobile and social and search and Facebook and all these things to recruit my customers, that's totally great too. You just have to make sure then hey, what is the cost of using those channels, and then am I generating enough revenue from that customer? I think one thing to think through there is sometimes it can be a little hard to scale those businesses because you're really trying to figure out, can I generate thousands of customers a month, or at least hundreds of customers a month coming online, finding my site and signing up for the product. Another great tool that I think a lot of people don't use well when dealing with maybe for mid-sized businesses is inside sales. So you can have people who are salespeople, but they're really just sitting in your office using the phone to go and recruit customers. And I think there, again, the model you have to think through is if an inside salesperson costs you, I'm just making this up, but like maybe they cost you 40,000 rupees a month or 50,000 rupees a month, and then you're saying, okay, how long does it take them to recruit a customer? Does the customer I'm going after, are they okay dealing with an inside salesperson? And then how long does that customer stay with me? Do they churn quickly? Like if your customer only lasts with you for 2 months, then that model may never become profitable. But if you say on average a customer stays with me for 2 years and I have pretty low churn, then, or 3 years, then I think you have a great model for potentially inside salespeople. PubMatic, we've actually tried a lot of different models. I think one of the things when we started the company, we thought that we really wanted to go after every small and medium-sized publisher in the world, and so we tried to make it a very online-driven product. At the same time, we had some large customers who were interested, so we got a sales force more focused for them. And then we said, hey, because we're kind of going even after these mid-sized customers, over time we said, let's try an inside sales force. So we even had an inside sales force that was calling customers. So you could sort of say that we started with going after everybody and probably not much focus. But as time went on, we really started to realize that we could build a much bigger business, and we think we could add a lot more value by really focusing on the biggest publishers out there. And so then when focusing after the biggest publishers, we really realized that model really required a direct sales force that's relatively expensive, really knowledgeable, well-trained, going directly to customers. But we also found that the customers themselves were generating enough revenue that we could really support that direct sales force, and the support function that we provided as well in terms of customer support, analysis, all those things were all built on that. And so we really moved away from the self-serve model. So today it's very hard to go and sign up self-serve for PubMatic, whereas it used to be super easy. So we really shifted the whole business to focus on that high-end customer, which is what we think our business model really supports.